Some big news coming out of the world on Alzheimer's disease. The FDA approved a brand new medication last week for those in the early stages of the disease. So what does it mean for families here in Connecticut and across the country? Joining us tonight to talk more about it is Kristen Casado with the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter. Kristen, good to see you. This has to be some pretty exciting news for you. Tell us about the medication. What is it?
Thank you so much for having us. It's very exciting. So it was called lecanemab, and then when the FDA approves it, it's called now Leqembi. They changed the name. But what's exciting about this is for years, any medication or treatment really dealt with the symptoms when someone had Alzheimer's. This drug actually goes after the amyloid plaques, which are some of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease that kind of clump in the brain and add to that degenerative process. So this drug called Leqembi was studied for 18 months and showed a 27% reduction in cognitive decline. What does that mean for families? That means more time to live independently, more time to perhaps remember your grandchildren's names, more time to spend time together in daily activities. So it is a really exciting time.
And as we had mentioned, it really is meant for people in a certain stage of the disease, right?
Correct. So this is for folks in the early stages. So either someone with mild cognitive impairment or MCI, or somebody with mild Alzheimer's disease. It's an infusion drug, so the person has to be able to have an infusion drug for quite a while, for about an hour or so. And there are some risks involved, as there are with all medications, and studies are continuing, obviously. One of the issues now is that these medications are not covered, Mark, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, and that's obviously an issue that a lot of families have to deal with, but this is something they must talk to their doctor about, right, and see if they can work something out?
It's not that necessarily, but the deal is when the first drug was approved back in 2021, Aduhelm, the CMS, which is Center for Medicaid and Medicare, had decided that all drugs in this class of drugs are not going to be covered. And this Leqembi is in that same class. So we, as the Alzheimer's Association, we are a patient advocacy organization, and we're really urging CMS to change that decision because we believe that families who want to take this drug, who are qualified to be able to take this medication, to have that more time, can have it. We want this to be accessible and affordable to these families. So we're really asking for that to be a decision because it's all great that we have two medications now approved by the FDA, but if families and patients can't get it, then that's a whole different thing.
Is there anything anyone at home can do to help you on this mission that you're on with this?
Well, I would say go check out what we're doing and following in research and how you can get involved. alz.org/research. And if you have any questions about dementia at all and want to support or get involved in clinical trials that are happening, which there are plenty here in Connecticut, call our 800 number, our 24/7 helpline. It's 1-800-272-3900.
All right, well, so many people living with this, and I would imagine any news is good news when it comes to a drug that can make a difference. Kristen Casado with the Alzheimer's Association Connecticut chapter, good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.